There we go. Microphone is working now. Okay. Get that to pull back up. You guys getting to see me with my contacts in this time. Because I have contacts. Don't get to use them much. Or I don't use them much because they're a pain in the ass. But I misplaced my glasses this morning, so I stuck my contacts in. I usually wear them on days I'm not working surgery with work. Although this week has been hell, so I haven't really worn them properly. Let's see. Right. What I wanted to get was... all of these should already be... yeah, all those are... so, what I'm doing... alright, so what I have to do is... actually disconnect from Ubisoft and then reconnect because it's being stupid. Padra, out of there. Out of the bathroom. This is why I love Ubisoft Connect. Because Ubisoft Connect is Ubisoft Connect. Padra, out of the bathroom. Come on. Padra, get out of the bathtub. You're not going to be happy when I make it so you can't get in the bathroom when we get in the apartment, Sweet Pea. Out of there. Come on. Good girl. Someone is a butthead. Padra, no. Is it that one? No. Okay, then it's... trying to remember what my password is for things. Padra! Out of the bathroom. Come on, dog. She's being a pain in my butt. Because she a brat. I mean, she's a good girl, but she's a brat. Licking her booty. Re-enter. Thank you. I keep forgetting it. Double ask for my password when I go to play the game for some reason. Which is really weird, but okay. I guess. There was an interesting article about the Assassin's Creed logos throughout the years on Game Rant that had me sitting there going like, are you sure you guys haven't been paying attention to artist renditions of the logo? Because artist renditions of the logo are a little bit different from what the game logos actually look like. Because it was yelling about how the logos for Odyssey and Valhalla are different and don't reflect the Brotherhood at the time. With Odyssey, it makes sense because there is no Brotherhood. And Valhalla, there is a Brotherhood. So why does the logo only reflect the Viking shit? Despite the fact that Eivor is technically not an assassin. She's not. Like, just straight up, she is not. She's a Viking who worked with and against assassins, actually. So, just that whole bit of the way they phrased it is just like, oh, come on. Alright, how many Helix credits do I need? 300, 600. Okay, so I need 600 Helix credits. Plus 0 Helix credits and 0 Helix credits free. I have 120, so I just need the 500. Awesome. Small, medium. Yeah, so this should be the small. I just have to do this real quick. Because this is the way the internet works. Come on. Oh, is my numlock off? Yep. Thank you. Anyways, it was a very interesting talk about the logo of Assassin's Creed, but I disagreed fundamentally with a bunch of the stuff they were saying in it. Just for the fact of the way it was, the way, just from the fact the way that they talked about it. It's like, Game Rant, I think you misunderstood something, but at the same time, I get it. Okay, there's frustration with the logo, and there's frustration that there's not representation in the logo, which I understand. Okay, it's perfectly valid, fine, but you're wrong. Okay, you're wrong. Is the gist of it. And yeah, I was just really not happy. Because it felt like being rude. It was just like, you guys are being really rude. Like, look, I get there's a lot with the Assassin's Creed franchise that people have an opinion on. Because people have opinions on it. Because you can't not play a game and not have opinions on it. That's just how games work. Okay. That is just how games work. So, there's going to be stuff about it that is a problem, and people are going to get upset. Fine, whatever. That's how games work. But, and part of the reason why I'm going over this is I did look up the Assassin's Creed logo, and I just saw the logo for this game in my face. Because the logo for this game was in my face. The logo for this game... Here, I'm actually gonna... What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pull up an internet page. Which... Shift? No. Haha. That pulls up Overwolf. That's not what I wanted. We'll just Alt-Tab and it'll be quiet for a moment. I'm going to yank up Chrome. I'll go Unity. So, and then I'm going to go and do... Okay, so this is what the Unity logo looks like. This. So you get a reference to the guillotine. You get the regular Assassin's Creed logo, certainly. There's not much else in this that is indicative of what the Brotherhood is like at this time. Except that there's a guillotine. And people were beheaded. That's it. The way Game Rant was describing the logo is it had a lot more detail and nuance in it that it describes what's going on in the Brotherhood cell at this time. Compare this to the Assassin's Creed logo, original logo, because this is pulling up Unity logo. Here's the image, a bunch of kind of, this is by a DeviantArt account. Okay? These are not official. One thing to point out, not official. Because the logo, this is the logo from the first game. Kind of, okay? It's very blank and bland. This is the logo for Valhalla. This is a wallpaper download. It's not accurate. But the point I'm making is this is the logo for Black Flag. Okay, here. This is the logo for Black Flag. It's got a skull and crossbones. That's it. That's the only difference. Because pirates were a thing. Nothing about Atabai's Brotherhood. nothing about the state of the Brotherhood at the time, but because the main character is a pirate, it has a freaking skull and crossbones. Game Rant, what logos are you looking at? Because I'm pretty sure they're fan-made and not official. Because these do not have anything about the current Brotherhood in there. Like, Assassin's Creed 3 logo. Okay. You would expect more things on the colonial side of things. Not really. We just get 3 stars. 3 stars. That's it. There's nothing else in, and it kind of looks like a tomahawk. Kinda. Maybe. Nothing else about the Brotherhood at this time. Ezio Trilogy logo. So, Assassin's Creed Revelations logo. Talks about how they were talking about how in Revelations it shows you how details and things about what the Brotherhood looks at this time, and as you can see, there's a bunch of this artwork bit. Okay, there's a bunch of this artwork bit, but the thing is, that's not the actual logo. That's what the logo is that they kind of people have made. French fan share. This is a fan logo. This is not the official logo. It's very pretty, but it's not the official logo. You want the official logo? There you go. Very bland, very plain. That's what it technically looks like. So Game Rant was going off about how the logo has all this intricate details in it. Like, this is a pretty logo. This is on Pinterest. This is for a tattoo. This is not the official logo. This is not what the logo looks like for Brotherhood. You effing kidding me? No. This is what Brotherhood's logo technically looks like. This. Look. This. So, this is not an official logo. This is actually official. This is actually official. This is official. This is official. This is official. This is official. These 3, when you actually look for the game information itself, it's been a while. They were not this intricate. This one actually kind of looks about accurate from what I remember. But the logo for the Brotherhood in Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Revelations wasn't this fancy. You would see fancy versions of the logo in the game. Yes, in the game. But as a logo used by Ubisoft, no, not really. This isn't even the logo. Actually, this might be the logo for Syndicate, but I'm not 100% sure. It looks familiar. Anyways, basically, I just want to know where Game Rant was getting their logos from, that they said had intricate details about the Brotherhood at the time and was kind of like an artistic rendition of important bits to the Brotherhood based upon stuff. And I'm like, I've seen pretty logos, Assassin's Creed logos that have artistic rendering and artwork done into them, tied to events that happened historically in the game series that you play through. I have seen those. Those are fan made though. Like 90% of them, I'm fairly certain, are fan made. So Game Rant, what the fuck? Please share sources. Please, I want to see these logos you're talking about, because if it's these, this is on Reddit. Okay, if I go to the Reddit page, like, are these? I know this is kind of what the logo looks like for these these 4 games. I know this is what the logo looks like for this one. I know this is what the logo looks like for this one because it turns into a Templar cross. I saw it a lot of time. This is kind of the logo for the first one. I'm not 100% sure if that symbol was in the logo itself on, like, and by the logo itself, I mean the logo that's on the freaking game package. My Ezio Trilogy box is somewhere right here. I could probably... Is it right? My black flag. I don't know. I have the physical version of the Ezio Trilogy somewhere because I got it when I got my PlayStation 3. So, or no, my Ezio Trilogy was digital download. It's Black Flag. I have a physical one of. Anyways, point is, the logo's changed over the years, yes, but it's not nearly as intricate as Game Rant was making it sound, and I was very disappointed in Game Rant. Okay, my ranty bit over and done with. That's all I wanted to do. I saw that article, I read it, and I got really frustrated with it because it's like, but Game Rant, what the fuck? So yeah, I had a bone to pick with them because they were implying that Ubisoft decided to go minimalistic with the logo on purpose. Ubisoft's logos have always been fairly minimalistic, to be fair, and secondly that it shows they just don't care about the Brotherhood anymore. I'm like, are you paying any attention to Ubisoft at all? Because I can guarantee you they do care a great deal about this franchise. Now, whether they're going in the right direction with it or not is a question, but it's not something that just going based on their logo you can determine. Like, oh shit. There we go. I knew there was a way to get up here. Anyways, it just frustrated me that that's something that they decided to imply. And it's like, are you paying attention at all to this game series? Actually paying attention? Or are you just wanting to rant about things and make it sound like they don't give a shit? Which is probably what they are doing because it's called Game Rant. But, to be fair, it was a thought. Anyways. Wow. There's a lot here, huh? So I got maps, obviously. I didn't realize there was that much shit. Oh. Okay, this makes hunting down treasure chests in, the Ezio Trilogy look like embarrassingly poor. Okay. Awesome. What is this? Okay, what's the shield thing? Artifact. Can I reach that artifact? Sorry, I'm not muting my mic because I actually have a thought process now going, and I want to see. I'm doing a lot of side stuff right now. Sorry about that. If you don't like it, deal with it. But I'll get to the story again here in a bit. I'm a curious bean. Okay. Alright, suddenly I am too far below it, so it's on this level area. I wonder if it's up over here. Like if I go into... Oh my gosh, really? You're gonna make me do this way? Okay. There we go. Okay, dude. Your controls for this game, Ubisoft. No. Okay. Cannot reach it from here. That's all I wanted to verify. Oh! That's the artifact! I was in here last time, I just didn't see it. Okay. Cool. Alright. That is going to really annoy the ever-loving crap out of me. Okay, let's go do that. So I have to double tap spacebar. Okay. Some of the controls are not intuitive. Alright. Now I'm gonna quiet.
Toujours le bienvenu.
Allons, il n'y en aura pas pour tout le monde. Oui, monsieur, pour quelle quantité? Pour le drôle, le prix n'est pas négociable. J'ai du bon grain à vendre.
Bien, je ne sais pas trop quoi en penser. Get in there! That's 3 times this month.
I gotta eat. You gotta feed me. Works out.
Shut it. What do you want?
A lot of crime going on. Need help?
I've got things well under control, thank you very much.
Ha! What about all the murders you never solve?
I said shut it, Vidoc!
Think about it. He solves them. You get the credit.
Tell you what. Solve a murder, I'll give you a weapon out of the bin. Meanwhile, I have more important things to do.
Hey! I know the streets. I can help you out.
Why would you?
Because that stinking stupid pig of a police minister doesn't have the stinking stupid sense to do anything that might give even a grifter like me hope that someday, this city might not be a shitty place to live. And because I'm bored out my bloody mind!
Oh, for the love of God, Vidoc, shush!
Born in 1775, Vidocq was but a lad during the French Revolution. He spent his youth as a petty thief and was frequently in jail. However, his association with thieves was to prove beneficial. By the Napoleonic era, he was working as an informant for the police and eventually became a policeman himself. They usually say crime doesn't pay. For this fellow, it not only paid, but it came with pension and medical. Thanks, Sean. In fact, he was one of the forefathers of the deductive method of crime solving, and founded a unit that grew to become the Sûreté, France's premier crime-fighting organization. He always worked both sides of the law, but his criminal friends proved invaluable to him as a detective. Don't be lazy. Go there. Look for more clues. Review your case file. Use your head. Oh, start at the top, please. If you want to solve crimes, you can't just wander around throw the first suspicion person you meet into jail. Well, you can, but you'll almost always get the wrong person. Like, you're going to have to get serious and have a comprehensive system to sort out who did it, why, and how. I'm going to make it easy for you and go over the basics right here. Read these, then go out and nab the murderer. Everything you discovered will be kept in a case file. Look there to review what you've learned. Hey, I like that. Examine all clues and speak to all witnesses. Use your eyes and ears. Okay. Some clues will lead you to new places. Don't be lazy. Go there and look for more clues. Review your case file. Use your head. Which suspects had the ability, means, and motive? When you know that the only one suspect could have done the crime, return to the murderer and accuse them. This
Something kind of creepy about monks. Closed up.
sounds like stuff. So solve the murder in the monastery.
Sometimes that's hard on people. Better check out the monastery here on the island, though.
He was actually talking. God, sorry. So that's just about that. You know what? Since I have the moment, database. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna try and clear these out so that they don't keep showing up every time I quit the game. Because it's really confusing the heck out of me. Okay, yeah, I read that one. Okay.
L'homme étrange.
Il n'y en aura pas pour tout le monde.
Dead monk Friar Jean, strangled with a strand of rosary beads, appears to have been fallen from his chair while writing at his desk. Okay, thank you for telling me there's a case file unlocking. Can you move? An older monk lying dead in his bed. His actions are sallow and his features are sallow and his face ashen gray. Personal effects. At the bottom of the chest, single page torn from a book. The 7 branches will be reduced to 3. The elder ones surprised by death. 2 seduced to fratricide. The conspirators will die as they sleep. Nostradamus. Ooh, creepy. Body of Friar Stanislaus. An older monk lying dead in his bed. Okay. Body of Friar Bernard. Okay. There we go. Clenched in the monk's dead fist is a crumpled bit of paper, apparently torn from a diary. It reads, "Guilty. I have poisoned them." He claimed it was God's will, so that I do so, because of the prediction, but I cannot escape my guilt. I am a murderer. I must confess everything right this minute before the note is unfinished. Okay. Oh, wait. Monastery property of Friar Honoré. Personal effects of note is an enormous book filled with intriguing quatrains, the prophecies by Nostradamus.
Dear Lord, Friar Stanislas, Bernard, and even the respected Friar Benoit, and then Friar Jean, all dead. It passeth all understanding. 3 monks survived, praise God, but I dare not think. Is it possible that the murderer is one of them? Ah, ridiculous. Which of them would be capable of such an atrocity?
3 monks remain. Okay. Alright.
So much happened. First, the death of the elder monks. Friar Jean served them wine, and they immediately became very tired. They went to bed and couldn't be roused. I ran to the doctor. When I came back, what did I find? They were all dead. And there's Friar Jean, strangled at his desk.
So he went to the doctor. There's a clue right here. Come on. You're telling me there's a clue right there. Oh, maybe the clue's down below. Ah, there's someone.
Saw a monk right over there, starting a fire he was. A fire, here in the vineyard. Well, I yelled at him to get on out of there, and he ran off.
Dude, you sound so disinterested. Poisoned cask of wine, but I served it. If he knew that I am about to confess, he would not hesitate to murder me himself. Oh, curse the day the predictions of Nostradamus ever came into Honore's possession. He is quite mad, and he has driven me to madness. But I am... Okay. So that was the partially burnt diary of the guy who did this. Who is not the guy who is dead upstairs. There's another monk.
I am very worried about Friar Honoré. He and Friar Jean were quite close. I fear Jean's murder has affected Honoré's sanity.
Or... Okay, Jean's the one who's dead. Honoré is the one who wanted everyone to die?
Cannot be understood by mortal man. We search and pray and do the best we can. Small hints can be discerned, say, in the writings of prophets. I believe Nostradamus is one.
Okay. So that's the clues. Okay. Friar Jean was strangled with strained rosary beads. He appears to have fallen from his chair writing his desk. Poisoned. Also poisoned. Also poisoned. This is from the monk who was dead, that he poisoned them. Okay. But then he was murdered. So Honoré would possibly murder him if he knew he was dead. In Honoré's stuff is the prophecies of Nostradamus. Friar Jean has a single page torn from a book that is about the prophecies of Nostradamus. Friar Benedict noted that the three monks are dead in their beds, were all elders of the order, and became ill after Friar Jean served them wine and went to sleep. When they could not be woken, Benedict went for the doctor. Upon his return, he found Friar Jean strangled at his desk. Friar Honoré believes Nostradamus is a prophet. Friar Joseph claims Friar Honoré and Friar Jean were friends. Expresses concerns that the murders have affected Honoré's sanity. Noted that Friars Benoit, Stanislas, and Bernard and Jean were not dead. 3 other remains alive. Refused to be one of those, could have been the one who killed them. Saw a monk starting a fire in the vineyard, yelled at him, and he ran off, unable to identify monk. Okay, so... I want to say it's you. Because everything is pointing to him. He believes in the tellings of Nostradamus. I know Nostradamus talks about there being 7 and then 3. But... okay. Where's the... 7 branches will be reduced to 3. The elder one surprised by death, 2 seduced to fratricide. Conspirators will die as they sleep. So, the other ones are dead. They were killed with poison. It's literally following this. 2 seduced to fratricide implies that there were 2 conspirators. Which explains the death of Friar Jean. If it's Friar Honoré and Friar Jean, so it's Honoré.
Is it murder to fulfill a prophecy?
There you go. I was correct. Is it murder to fulfill a prophecy? See, I got that right. I'm happy. Alright, I'm gonna mute myself now.
It's all coming true, I tell you. Even this.
He's a bit off his nut, if you ask me. Arrest the madman. 9 times out of 10, you're right. Go ahead.
Follow up.
Friar Honoré became obsessed with the predictions of Nostradamus and brought his friend Friar Jean into his obsession. Together they plotted to make one of Nostradamus' predictions come true. Honoré poisoned a cask of wine and Jean served it to the elder monks, the eldest of the branches. In a fit of remorse, Friar Jean decides to confess and was in the act of writing his decision in his diary when he was surprised by Friar Honoré, who then strangled Jean with his own rosary beads. Honoré then attempted to burn the page from Jean's diary, but was seen by a vineyard worker and ran off in fright.
You'll get there. Having trouble? It's a tough one, isn't it?
Citizen, stop!
Je parie qu'il a bu. Oh, gentilhomme, ne vous faites pas timide. Il n'y a aucun mal à regarder. Lâchez
Mais qu'est-ce que vous...
Pugnacité est à dure épreuve. Ah ouais, grande idée. La barricade est l'arme des désespérés.
Don't look at me, Sergeant.
Come back here! I'll turn you into horse and gas!
Le tricolore contre les tyrans. Qui veut mes belles cocardes?
We'll keep the peace!
Oh!
After them!
Not the place, I swear. Hey, jeez, good fight.
Hurry!
Seriez surpris. Faites un peu attention, d'accord? Hey.
Hey! Hey, c'est distrayant.
Conscience, crois-moi.
On pourrait leur garder.
I read the tarot for powerful friends, and now some believe I influence those friends, and they wish me harm. I have seen my enemies in a dream. Come with me, and I will sense their presence. You, citizen, don't have long to live.
What?
Citizen, I sense that your husband is having an affair.
I beg your pardon.
In my dream, one of the murderers was from the country. Yes, a farmer of sorts. Oh, he is dangerous. I feel an evil presence. Yes, he is somewhere nearby. I am sure of it. That's him.
Permettez-moi. J'en ai trop, je m'en vais.
You can't go through!
Go for the leg.
Way behind you! Die!
Keep him busy.
Efficiently done. I feel that it's about to rain.
More cheer, my friend.
Arno, Godspeed.
I remember now, a soldier out to kill me. Look for a man in uniform. A voice is whispering to me. A man with dark intentions.
like the bloody maggot you are!
Oh, wait.
Stop, you shit! I'm talking to you!
It is not
I'm
clear.
the boss here, mate! You wanna...
That one, just as in my dream. Sent to the great beyond. I have the distinct sense that a man in the legal profession wishes me harm. A lawyer. I sense a man capable of unspeakable violence. Oh, I beg your pardon. It is you. There.
Moderate scope!
He's joined the choir invisible.
Allons, gentilhomme, ne vous faites pas timide. Il n'y a aucun mal à regarder. Et pour quelques pièces...
And a shady character. Yes, I see him in my mind's eye. A shyster. A bandit.
Lâchez donc cette mégère maladie.
The vibrations of danger are all about us. Even in this very spot. Ah, the man from my dreams. I have something to tell you. These cards, the cross and the lady, invoke Notre Dame Cathedral, continuing with the religious theme, monks. And this card, it is clear to me that an order of monks is after mystical power. They hope to find Nicolas Flamel's water of life in his long-lost laboratory somewhere here in Paris. This card, the key, they have found part of the mechanism that will unlock Flamel's door. You must go to Notre Dame and recover that mechanism.
Un homme bien étrange. Mais marchandises
particulièrement hideux.
Qui n'a pas sa gazette? Vous aurez appris les dernières nouvelles avant tout le monde. Pour la gazette.
Du bon grain à vendre, 60 livres par septième.
Avec maman.
What is it now?
Qu'est-ce qu'ils veulent pousser à...
Que signifie ce cri?
Il est drôle.
Hey!
Brothers, I have the piece of the mechanism with me. Say nothing to anyone. We are in mortal danger. Neither the Templars nor the assassins must learn of this. Mechanism is made of hammer. We here humbly invoke the spirit of Nicolas Flamel in hopes of guidance. Nicolas Flamel. Nicolas Flamel. O great patron of the hermetic arts, we seek the elixir, water of all life, consecrated with flakes of gold. The elixir. The elixir. Send us a sign that we may find what we seek, and that we may use it with humility and discretion.
Mais non, mais pas du tout. Vive la Révolution. Ce n'est pas trop patriote, ça.
Eloman is our emperor, Count of Flamel of Tertian Magte blood.
I cannot agree.
We
Stay right there! I'll ram my blade so far down your throat, you'll shave your ass every time you sit. Look at him! Hey,
Flamel. Nicholas Flamel. Oh, great patron of the Hermetic. We seek the
nothing to anyone. We are in mortal danger. This rusty bit of metal must be part of the mechanism that Mademoiselle Lenormand was talking about.
Toi, tu m'as tout l'air d'un voleur.
Peut bien rimer une telle posture.
Regardez-le, c'est bien compris.
recovered part of the mechanism, as I knew you would. Keep it. It is you who will unlock the secret.
Va me chercher le gros Jacques.
Aurait-il perdu l'esprit?
Ce sont des mercenaires.
Nous sommes tous égaux, mes frères. Il ne saurait y avoir de privilèges.
Par décret municipal, il est désormais formellement interdit de mourir de faim. Si vous souffrez de famine, c'est l'œuvre fondatrice.
Paris qu'il a bu.
Qu'est-ce que le tiers-État a pu sacrifier aujourd'hui seulement?
L'ami, on cherche à s'informer par ici.
Pourquoi fait-il ça?
C'est l'œuvre fondatrice qui a bouleversé notre temps.
À sa place, j'aurais
I have an acquaintanceship with Denis Molyneux, who dabbles in alchemy. I suspect that it is he who possesses the other part of the missing mechanism. I advise you to go to his house on the Ile Saint-Louis and steal it. Yes, steal it!
Je parie qu'il va se rompre le cou.
C'est banal.
Vous aurez appris les dernières nouvelles à votre tour.
C'est une sorte de spectacle. Oh!
Pas la peine. Mais pourquoi?
Murderous scum!
Et moi, je fais confiance à votre juge. Un domaine qui était dans la famille. Il a l'air d'avoir connu de meilleurs jours dans l'espace d'une nuit.
This rusty bit of metal must be part of the mechanism that Mademoiselle Lenormand was talking about. And this completes the mechanism. So much for the Templars.
Viens, toi. Posons ça là-bas. Fais ça. Viens, toi. Posons ça là-bas. Fais ça. C'est une main particulièrement hideuse. Bien, monsieur.
Ma parole, mais il se passe quelque chose.
À la bonne heure.
Are you cowering away from my friendly intervention? Get over here, you!
Belle dame, je ne me lasse pas de vous croiser sur ma route. Et ces insultes.
Marcher ne lui suffit donc pas. Révolution.
Quelque chose là-bas.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Animation là-bas.
Quelle?
Je vous souhaite la bienvenue. C'en est trop.
Why the rush? I'd love to kick the shit out of your bony arse! Halt! Halt, you damn mongrel!
Commandez un vin d'Anjou pour l'occasion.
encore un disciple.
Plus beau grain à vendre.
Il s'agir.
Les meilleures pubs de Paris. Dépêchons, il n'en reste plus beaucoup. On se l'arrache. La gazette est disponible.
Exactement.
Qu'est-ce que...
Eh bien, tu dois en tête, toi.
Oh, un peu fort.
Soyons précis. Auront au fait de se proclamer roi. Serait-ce une espèce de jeu?
Cendrillon à l'envers. Comment ils se les ont procurés, je ne sais. the second part of the device. You have the necessary pieces. Return to me when you are ready to take the final step.
Et l'œuvre fondatrice qui a bouleversé notre temps. L'urgence dans l'élan d'inspiration. Cela donne d'ailleurs. Bon, citoyen. Ce sac à vin fait...
I suppose a simple address would be too mundane.
Toi, citoyen, on fait long sur ces affaires.
Je dis vrai. Tu verras que ces révolutionnaires auront tôt fait de se proclamer roi.
Et toi, tu verras que le peuple...
This medallion must play into it somehow. This medallion must play into it somehow. What am I supposed to do with this medallion?
Took you long enough, pisspot.
What is this place?
The Sanctuary. A place we can train and prepare, away from the eyes of our enemies.
Didn't we just escape from a dungeon?
It's not a dungeon. It's a nerve center. From these tunnels we can get anywhere in the city, all without being seen. We have eyes everywhere.
Really? Seems visibility would be a problem. Wouldn't you prefer something with a view?
This place has served us well for 600 years, pisspot.
Mm-hmm. And how long were you standing in the dark waiting for me?
Not long. Guillaume spotted you from the bell tower.
Well, it was quite the entrance.
Are you mocking me?
No, no. God's truth. Very theatrical.
Shut up. We're here.
The candidate will approach. So, the son of Charles Dorion returns to us. Belek thought you wouldn't come. What changed your mind?
I'm tired of running from my failures. Monsieur de la Serre, my father. I want to make it right.
The death of Grand Master de la Serre weighs on you. Why? Did you wield the blade yourself?
Does it matter? The blame still lies with me.
إن ذنوبه تكل كيلاي. هل أنت متأكد من؟
أنا كذلك. إنه قادر على مواجهة المحاكمة. سيكون جيدا.
Very well. Out of the dark you come into the light. From the light you will return to the dark. Are you prepared to travel the Eagle's path?
If that's a fancy way of asking, do I want your help? Yes.
Then drink.
That's Achilles. This is after Shay broke the Brotherhood. Achilles went to France for a while? What? What? Okay.
What's happening? Hello?
Can't I go with you, Father?
Courage, my boy. You wait just here. I will return when this hand reaches the top,
and there is to be no mischief. Father! Where is that boy? I'm certain I we should be well away. Father, it's me! I'm here! Father! Where is that boy? We should be well away. Father, it's me! I'm here! Father! Where is that boy? We should be well away. Father, it's me! I'm here! Father! Where is that boy? I'm certain. We should be well away. Father, it's me! I'm here!
I'm literally not understanding what it's trying to tell me to do because I can't dodge if I'm holding Shift and E at the same time. So, what the fuck is the game trying to tell me to do? Because it's not making sense.
Father! Where is that boy? We should be well away. Father, it's me! I'm here!
I literally can't dodge that. What the fuck? What control am I fucking up?
Father! Where is that boy? We should be run away. Father, it's me! I'm here!
Right now, I'm literally looking shit up on how to get past that point because I don't know what the I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to dodge those. Because either you move too slow or you do the shift and E, which is what it says to do when sliding, and I do that and I hit all of them in a row and I can't dodge them. So I need to figure out what the fuck to do to dodge them. I'm trying to figure that out because I can't do shift and E and do A and D at the same time. It doesn't work. So it's driving me up the wall and it's making me very, very fucking mad. Because it's not clear. And I don't know how it expects me to dodge those. Okay. Pay very close attention to on-screen instructions on how to slow your progress. Then inch your way to the broken piece of floor on the right side. Oh. Shift and E is to slow your progress. So you can dodge. Why the fuck am I not dodging it? I don't understand. I don't understand.
Father! Where is that boy? Should we run away? Father, it's me! I'm here!
I literally held shift and E and he went faster. What the fuck?
Father! Where is that?
To be fair, shift makes you go faster, so I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure what the fucking control that wants me to do, because shift will make me go faster, but E slows me down. But it specifically says shift and E. Unless it's E supposed to slow me down, shift supposed to make me go faster, and I'm supposed to use them in conjunction, using E to slow down and shift. That might be what it means. It's not saying hit both of them at the same time. In which case that makes more sense, but it's a pain in my ass. Okay. Ah ha ha ha. Okay. Nope. Fuck. Nope. 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 I'm just gonna, you know, keep doing this until I get to safety. Okay, safety. Alright.
Found that on the floor of my father's study. Unopened.
I didn't know.
Neither did my father.
You must receive it today. It's very
important. I heard you the first time.
Go! I'll distract them.
I am blessed to have such a loyal These are the words spoken by our ancestors, the words that lay at the heart of our creed.
Stay your blade from the flesh of the innocent.
Hide in plain sight.
Never compromise the Brotherhood.
Let these tenets be branded upon your mind. Follow them and be uplifted. Break them at your peril. Rise, assassin. Arno Dorian is dead. He has been culled from this world, his sins and failures turned to dust. Tonight he is reborn, a novice of the Assassin Brotherhood.
Okay, that was really cool. Also, what the fuck? Just what the fuck? Instructions were not clear, if that was not apparent. Instructions were very much not clear. But I got through it in the end after... They wanted you to shift and E to dodge. But shift and E didn't work the way they were saying it did. That's, maybe it works better with a controller. It probably not. Honestly, probably not. But, that's one way to induct someone into the Creed. Shit. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Welcome back. Now that you've experienced life as an assassin, are you willing to pick up the fight and join us? Deacon, load the file.
Coming up.
We lifted a media file from Abstergo last month, and the information it contains is astounding. But we won't share these things with just anyone. By pressing play, you'll be joining the assassins. If you want to fight the Templar menace, if you're willing to save civilization from Abstergo's clutches, press play, sit back, and ready yourself for the truth.
Also clever. So, this whole thing ties into Initiates, which Initiates is tied into in the other games too. Shut up, I'm talking here. Which I thought was really cool, but I never played the games when Initiates was a thing, and Initiates is no longer a thing, which kind of sucks. I wish they'd bring it back. Shut up! I wish they would bring it back so that you could experience kind of what this era of Assassin's Creed was like. However,
I'm not sure about this one, Deacon. Get ready to pull the plug.
Oh my, wow, rude. What I do like is that, like, the previous games, you were, in Black Flag, you were kind of the hapless idiot. You didn't know what you were doing. You were just kind of following everyone's direction and going wherever anyone told you to, and that was okay. You weren't really inducted into the Brotherhood, but you weren't really inducted into the Templars either. In Rogue, it felt like a straight continuation from Black Flag. It felt like you were that same character in Black Flag, although they act like you're not. So I wasn't 100% sure what was going on there. But at the end, your character, this nameless, faceless peon that you were, gets inducted into the Templars. Forcefully. But they do get inducted into the Templars. This, and I believe technically Syndicate as well, because Syndicate follows on the backbones of this one, you get inducted into the assassins. So it's like you have two nameless, faceless schmucks. Schmucks, wow, that's... I've been watching way too much TV. You have two nameless, faceless idiots. Okay? Two nameless, faceless idiots, and yeah. And these idiots are out there. They are canon characters in the modern day storyline. We just don't know who the fuck they are. They're just idiots. So, at least two. Possibly three. Possibly four. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a different character each time. But, end all be all, we're the nameless, faceless idiot of the Brotherhood and the Templar Order. So, that's the thing.
Good choice. Welcome to the Assassins, Initiate.
In the 1950s, it was theorized that human DNA worked via the triple helix model. Some years later, the work of Crick and Watson demolished this theory in favor of the double helix. Today, we know the double helix to be indisputably the basis of all life. So why did the triple helix theory gain so much traction? Why did Rosalind Franklin's X-rays seem to confirm it? It turns out that their initial samples had been taken from small traces of precursor DNA, the rare genes of an ancient race embedded in our own. We now know that triple helix DNA is the foundation of the precursor genome. It is the genetic Rosetta Stone of our age. If we can crack it open, if we can sequence the full precursor genome, there is no limit to the knowledge we will gain. Using Animus technology, precursor history will be open to us for the first time ever. Ancient languages will be unlocked, and ancient technology will be ours for the taking. Imagine what will be possible if we master the technology that underpins the pieces of Eden. Such discoveries would surpass 100-fold the splitting of the atom. Last year, we located a rich sample of precursor DNA in a donor whose genes contained human and precursor DNA at an incredible 25-to-1 ratio. Our work will begin with this sample. Our goal is to unravel the triple helix, sequence the precursor genome, and change the world for the better, forever. Welcome to the Phoenix Project.
So, this is where we stand. Last year, Abstergo acquired the body of a man we call a Sage, one of a rare breed of humans with a surplus of ancient DNA. This sparked a search for more Sages, in the present and in the past. The more Abstergo finds, the closer they get to their final goal. We've blocked their recent attempts to find more, but Abstergo will not stop looking until they sequence a full precursor genome. So, why Arnaud Dorian? Why chase an assassin through the French Revolution? It turns out, at some point in his life, Arnaud came into contact with another Sage. We need you to find out when and where these meetings took place. If Arnaud was present for this Sage's death, it might lead Abstergo straight to his body. Naturally, we'd like to find it first. This is where you come in. It won't be simple. Genetic memory must be tackled in sequence to keep the data stable. But we're confident you're up to the task. And you won't be alone. Other initiates, assassins just like you, are doing their part to end this fight. If you need more training, more experience, you can call on them for help. All right. Loading the next sequence. I've got something else for you. The more time you spend with Arnaud, the more data we'll have to increase your synchronization with him, and to activate his abilities. Here, have a look at this.
I hit the wrong button. This is one of the reasons why I really like the way that they've increased synchronization, how synchronization works in this era of the games. And I think in the Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla 2, if I'm not mistaken, kind of showcases the fact that you're playing someone who technically you're not associated with. Technically, modern day character is not linked to this particular genetic memory. I do think that there is a bunch of bull hockey, because in Black Flag, they kind of proved and disproved in equal measure that you can't be not associated with the person you're playing the genetic memories from. But conversely, there's nothing to say they didn't record the memories utilizing someone whose DNA existed, but it's a jumbled mess, or in some manner that they can't decode it properly. So they have it there, they have it decoded, but they haven't been able to view it, so they need someone to view it. That's kind of one of my headcanons of what's going on. It makes more sense to me, based on the lore of the established series, that they have to have a living subject related, or primarily they have to have a living subject related to get the genetic memory, the genetic component, to record it in its raw data format, and then they can use the raw data format that they've recorded it in to decode it with a non-related subject, which is kind of what the Initiate project ended up being, and what Abstergo Entertainment did, and so on and so forth. So they had the raw data recorded into an animus, whether those people actually lived through it or they were, as Vidic had threatened, drugged for the interim so that they could get the raw data. You are then the player decoding it, which is why bleeding effect doesn't happen as severely, I think is what was implied. I know Layla has bleeding effect, but I also think Layla was related to, like, Bayek. I do think Layla was related to Bayek and Amunet. And I do think Layla was probably related to Cassandra in some way, and that Layla is probably related to Erebor in some way, which explains how she's able to do things. Not necessarily that she is, but that she might potentially be related to them. Because they're so far back that you run into the everyone is related to everyone thing going on at that point. Now, one thing I liked about the synchronization thing, because it got more and more complex as the games go on. It gets much more complex. In Assassin's Creed 1, synchronization is really simple. You don't have to do anything except not kill innocents and not get hurt. And you basically synchronize 100%. If you get hurt, it drops your sync value down, but as long as you get away and you can recover, it goes back up again. So that's a very clear, in the sense that Desmond really synced really well with Altair. Like, you didn't have to do shit to sync with Altair. It just happened. And then you get to Ezio, and suddenly you have additional little side things that sometimes you have to do with some of the main memories to get 100% sync rate, which are harder and a little more difficult. And it's like, okay, so this is kind of pushing the idea that Ezio doesn't sync as easily to Altair, to Desmond, as Altair did. Okay. You get to Connor, same thing, doesn't sync as easy. You get to Edward, and suddenly you have a lot of things that there's more extra that you have to do with Edward than you have to do with anything else, and it's not Desmond doing it, it's not Desmond playing through it, which makes sense. If you have to get extra to get the 100% sync rate, that makes sense, because your brain pattern does not match the brain pattern of the subject you're syncing to, and you have to forcefully map it. I also think that would make bleeding effect worse, comparatively. But there's also much we don't know about bleeding effect. We've learned a bit more about bleeding effect with Valhalla, and conversations Desmond has had but there's still the majority of what the bleeding effect causes is unknown to us as the player, as the to us in the community. We can speculate what it does, and we know it causes hallucinations. We know it can basically break you, a la Daniel Cross, but we know it's visual and auditory hallucinations, but we don't know if you lose control. I know one of the fan theories is that when a bleeding effect happens, the subject can also not have control of themselves. They are forced to act out the memory, which is a little bit, I don't know if that's true or not. We know it from Desmond, it dives into your dreams. You will dream about ancestor memories. We know it can unlock memories that Desmond hasn't even gone through in the Animus, because he references Edward Kenway, and he has no idea who Edward Kenway is at that point. And he does reference shit that happens with Edward, pirates on a beach. So it's like, once you unlock, there's things that I think with the bleeding effect and the syncing that Ubisoft did that is really clever and indicative of kind of the lore of this world. And with it being indicative of the lore of this world, it also kind of indicates, like, you can't pull DNA from a deceased subject, necessarily. Which is why I think the Desmond Lives thing really was hammered around for the longest time, and why we wanted it so much to be true. And Desmond living, in a sense, as a memory, the way he is in Valhalla, as a computer process, basically, is one way to do that. I know we have confirmation that in Black Flag, Desmond was definitely dead because we had by autopsies and shit. But there's also references that Desmond can survive some pretty gnarly shit because of the high count of precursor DNA that he had as well. So there's a toss-up of what they're doing in that respect. But there's also a lot, I feel, lore-wise that you can pick up from just the games and the synchronization thing. The fact that you as a player are supposedly not related to these characters, that is interesting. But then you also have to pull into the transmedia to get more of the lore and the situation surrounding that, which turns into a problem. Which I understand. But yeah, I like the way Ubisoft did the synchronization, how it's gotten progressively more intricate to get 100% sync rate. And I like that the way that's built up, and having that kind of looking at it through a lore perspective of, well, why is it more difficult to sync with these characters than it was to sync with, like, say, Altair. So that's a personal thing, and I just had to say it. I have a feeling Communal Sense is not going to work because I do not technically have allied players to play with. So.
One last thing. While you've been busy, I had Deacon do some poking around in Arno's memories. Seems he was a busy guy. See that symbol? That's a co-op mission. I play a lot of games multiplayer. I don't know about you, but I thought you'd like to mix it up a little. These are missions Arno ran with his assassin buddies, so they'll give you an idea of what our organization's about. Just walk into the glitch and you'll get all the details. I've marked them on your map.
How is that gonna work when technically I'm playing a single player game and the co-op part is no longer a thing?
the key. And here, the sun. Against these other cards, it is quite clear that many people are in search of Nicolas Flamel's secret laboratory that has remained hidden these hundreds of years. You are ready? I commend you, but I cannot help you. The final mystery of where to find Flamel's laboratory is beyond my powers. Only you can solve the enigma. My intuition tells me you will do well.
Seigneur, pourquoi tant d'agitation?
À l'odeur.
Stop trying to avoid me right bleeding now!
you cowering away from my friendly intervention? Come here! Damn traitor!
Hey, answer the bloody question. You look like a loyalist.
Okay, so we're gonna go through this stuff here, see what they've got. Arno Victorian. So Arno now has a whole thing. This goes over all that stuff. Yeah, that's the same as it always has been. So there's nothing new there. Paris stories. An alchemist from Montbaume Molinier was deeply interested in Flamel and produced the famous Flamel images consisting of obscure figures that combine symbolic and chemical formulations. Mademoiselle Lenormand. Sorry, got distracted by something. Born May 27th, 1772 in Alençon. Received a conventional education in the city's Benedict nuns. It was there that, to her great surprise, she discovered psychic abilities that would allow her to pursue practice of divination. With the Revolution, she moved to Paris and set up a fortune-telling enterprise. It is said that this is where she met three key figures of the Revolution, namely Marat, Robespierre, and Saint Just, for all whom she had predicted violent death. To be fair, it was a pretty violent time. Lots of people were meeting violent ends. If this psychic had predicted their deaths would all take place on a little yellow barge called Colin, or by inadvertently impaling themselves on a series of stale baguettes, then I'd be impressed. Good job, Sean. Her activity made her suspicious in the eyes of the Committee of Public Safety, whereupon she was sent to prison in 1794. When she met and befriended Josephine de Beauharnais, she escaped the guillotine and, during the Director and Empire periods, managed to set up a new necromancy establishment in the Faubourg Saint-Germain, where the elite made haste to hear her predictions. She is also said to believe to have met Napoleon, but this did not stop the emperor from having her arrested in 1803 and again in 1809 for treason. She believed herself to be nearly immortal and predicted a very long life for herself. Nevertheless, she died in 1843. Born on Pontoise in 1330, Nicolas Flamel later went to Paris to work as a scrivener. Flamel amassed a considerable fortune for himself, arousing persistent rumors as to how he managed to establish such wealth so quickly. For many, Flamel therefore must have been an alchemist, able to transmute base metals such as lead into gold or silver. In his youth, Flamel had a strange dream in which an angel showed him an extraordinary book. It was this book of Abraham Eleazar that he would later discover the secrets of alchemy. Flamel went on a pilgrimage to Saint Jacques de Compostelle, where he met a certain Maestro Canches, a Jewish Kabbalist who would give him certain keys for interpreting the book, which, it is told, allowed Flamel to use alchemical methods to acquire his fortune. Flamel is credited with reconstruction of the church of Saint Jacques de la Boucherie, which the remains of which now stand as the Saint Jacques Tower. Though some say that the Philosopher's Stone made Flamel immortal, it is known that he died on March 22nd, 1418. He is buried alongside his life in the present-day Cluny Museum in Paris. Locations. Bridges. Pont Neuf. This new bridge is the oldest existing bridge in Paris. The laying of the first stone in May 31st, 1578 was a tearful occasion for Henry III, who had just lost two of his favorite minions in a duel. The king was coming out of a funeral service and it was raining. Always ready for a laugh, the Parisians subsequently dubbed the bridge the Pont des Pleurs, or the Bridge of Tears. The Pont Neuf was a unique bridge in its time, the first to be built in stone, the widest, the most accessible, and unlike other bridges of Paris back then, no houses were built along the bridge spans. Pont Notre Dame, although many times destroyed and replaced, in the early 1400s a few wooden planks served the purpose. Some form of bridge existed at this spot in Paris since early founding of the city. The bridge was historically lined with houses, but these proved to put too much of a burden on the bridge's stability. and Pont Saint-Michel. The first bridge in this location was built during the lull in the Hundred Years' War in around 1378. It was named after the small nearby chapel of Saint-Michel, the enclosure of the Palais du Roi, which also lent its name to the district. It was the first location of a fixed bridge linking the city to the left bank. Like all other bridges at the time, it was fragile and often ravaged by floodwaters. At the time of the Revolution, it was lined with 32 houses, which would only be demolished in 1809. And then Pont Marie. Pont Marie was named after its engineer Christophe Marie, and not the Holy Virgin, who appeared to Henry IV to build a double wooden bridge across the Ile Saint-Louis. Despite Henry's assassination, the project continued. The bridge would later be renovated in stone. The enterprising Marie completed his assignment after collecting 20 years of toll charges. He was also tasked with creating the quays that encircled the island and plotting its streets. The first stone of the North Bridge was laid on October 11th, 1614, and would be completed in 1630. In 1658, part of the bridge and the houses built atop it were destroyed by a flood, an all too common disaster in Paris at the time. About the time of the Revolution, the last remaining houses were demolished. Café Theatre. Opened on Ile Saint-Louis in 1759, the Café Theatre was one of Paris's premier coffee houses for decades. Intellectuals, poets, philosophers, and actors flocked to its tables, and the salon was the center for political debate and discussion. Over the years, though, cafes like the Café Procope gradually supplanted it in prominence. By 1790, Café Theatre was a shabby, run-down place, more likely to host a second-rate body comedy show than an impassioned debate. It experienced a resurgence during the Revolution and even opened several satellite locations around Paris, and remained a fixture of the city's intelligentsia through World War I. It was also a central clearinghouse for the Parisians' Brotherhood's intelligence gathering network, a concept that is so adorably French. Don't even have words for it. Okay, Sean. This is the oldest hospital in Paris, dating to the mid-7th century. It was originally started as a refuge for the poor and sick, founded by the nobility as a charity. By the time of the Revolution, it had earned a terrible reputation. Those who died here were more likely to have contracted the disease inside its walls than outside. I hope that was their corporate slogan. Jesus, Sean. The hospital has undergone numerous renovations over the years, but still serves as an emergency center for the first 9 arrondissements of Paris. It must be thrilled. Place Dauphine. In 1601, Henry IV announced that a public square, triangular in fact, would be created and given the first president of the parliament, Achille de Harlay, who had remained loyal to Henry during the wars of religion. Harlay divided the square, situated away from traffic on the bridge, into 12 lots in 1608. The houses were rented by artisans, tailors, printers, booksellers, and officers of the nearby Palais de Justice. Up until 1633, one of the main attractions of the square, then a clutter of little houses, was the trestle stage used by the famous Parisian farceur Tabarin, Antoine Gerard, who put on short Italian-style performances with his brother and their little theater troupe. His motto was, "The world is merely deceived by charlatans." Acting the Tabarin, faire le Tabarin in French, became a proverb that literally no one has ever used. Okay, Sean. The original horse was cast in Florence and shipped to Paris in 1614 to await its king. The stallion stood riderless upon his pedal for 21 years and was referred to by Parisians simply as the bronze horse. At last the rider was made, Henry IV, the Protestant king, who before taking the crown survived the St. Bartholomew's Day massacre. To stabilize his throne, he converted to Catholicism, possibly uttering the apocryphal remark, "Paris is worth a mass." Although much beloved by his people, he was assassinated while riding his carriage by religious fanatic Francois Ravaillac in 16. I am totally butchering that. During the Revolution, the spot on which his statue stands was used as a meeting point and even recruiting office for volunteers willing to fight the Prussians. Blah. Journal de Paris, 1791. The roads of France are open to all trade citizens. The Reformation we started by tearing down the tax farmers' walls now sees its natural conclusion. Is France not truly unified by these acts? In the wake of misdeliveries, a terrible crop, and price irregularities, the bakers of Saint Marceau and Saint Antoine and Saint Denis have asked for calm. They cannot bake bread without grain, and violence won't feed anyone's families. Dr. Joseph Guillotin is attempting to make a mockery of public executions. Instead of proper beheadings, breakings upon the wheel, or simple hangings, he is proposing that a machine execute the guilty in a clean, efficient manner. Nothing could be more absurd. The executions are meant to give warnings to the populace. The more brutal, the better. Mademoiselle Montansier, another wonderful performance. One dreams of sojourning to the midst of her plunging neckline. Wow. Do not ask this poor soul which play she was starring in. Very little seems important when her dainty figure finally makes its appearance on the Théâtre de l'Ambigu Comique stage. Someone just likes to look at a woman's tits. That's all I got out of that. Wear your tricolor proudly, good citizens. Show your support for a new order, one more noble than 10,000 aristocrats. An era of liberty, a society built on the principle that all men are indeed equal. And Le Patriote. The armies of Prince Bishop and his allies now threaten our brothers in Liege. Their republic cannot withstand the might of Habsburg machine for long. Should they seek shelter in France, we'll not turn them away. Few onlookers were seen at yesterday's representation of Le Barbier de Seville. It is believed, in light of recent events, that the upper crust aura surrounding the outlandish playwright Beaumarchais has kept merrymakers at bay. Unknown rogues have made off with a section of crown jewels. These are part of the treasury of France. Those guilty are not only thieves but traitors. Report any suspicious pawners at once. Wow. Citizen Mirabeau has won election to the post of President of the National Constituent Assembly. After a long, varied, and mostly distinguished career, the respect he has earned from all sides should help France get things done. While the appeal of owning a piece of the Bastille may find favor with some misguided few, the Royal Director of Buildings is of a different, and certainly legal superior opinion. He asks that you please desist the practice. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna speak to her.
The elixir? Oh, of course you have. I knew you would not fail me. Many thanks, my dear Arnaud. I foresee a great future for you.
Okay. And with that, I'm actually going to end my playthrough. So, bye.